Yeah, Dr. Harris.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let me follow up a little bit on this Title IX discussion. Would you agree that Title IX was necessary to help establish women's sports because women can't fairly be expected to compete on biological male teams?
Yeah, especially after last week, I'm really proud of what I saw in women's sports. And
please, no filibustering.
Yeah.
Do you agree that that's why we have Title IX?
And yes.
Okay.
And I'm
For input
proud
on the rule, are you seeking input from HHS?
Say that again, please.
Are you seeking input from HHS in this rule?
We work closely with all departments when we're making.
You are. Okay. So are you aware of what Secretary Becerra testified in front of this committee 3 weeks ago when he was talking about women's health and women's health research? Said, quote, "Women's feet are different from men. Their arches are different, but yet they have to wear for professional athletic activity shoes that were designed for men." Would you agree that women are physically different than men?
So I see where you're going with this, and I'm here to talk about.
Would you agree that women are physically different? Would you agree with Secretary Becerra that there is evidence that women are physically different from men?
So, Dr. Harris, I know where you're going with this. I would love to talk about how we can work together to support the students.
Mr. Secretary, do you agree that biological women are different from biological men physically?
I think
this is a simple question for an educator.
Yeah.
You're not going to answer. Okay, let's go on to the next topic. I believe that your proposed Title IX rule could obviously roll back the protections of Title IX. And it's an affront to women in this country. It's an absolute affront that you're even considering a change to that rule, given the Secretary of HHS's testimony in front of this committee 3 weeks ago. Now, let's move on. Charter school grants. In your reason for decreasing it, one of the reasons is so that you'd prohibit program funds going to schools operated by for-profit entities. So if a for-profit entity demonstrates that it can educate a child better than the failing Baltimore City public school system, for instance, where 5% of students are actually proficient at something when they're done, you don't think the federal government should support a for-profit entity that has evidence that they can deliver a better product?
I recently visited a charter school that provided outstanding education, and throughout the course of my career, even before Secretary of Education, I have supported high-performing charter schools.
So if they're high-performing and they're for-profit, what your budget request suggests is that you are unwilling to have the department support them. A for-profit, highly performing charter school. Am I reading this wrong? Because it says prohibit program funds to charter school operated by for-profit entities. Am I reading that right? I mean, unlike Baltimore City school children actually have reading proficiency. Is this correct? Is this what your department wrote?
Sir, I think, to respond to that comment, if you support our budget, we can provide enough Title I dollars to districts to help all students read, which is why I'm here today.
You want to prohibit them for for-profit entities, even if they're highly performing. Is that correct?
I'm a big believer in public charter schools, and no, sir, I do not believe public dollars should go to private institutions.
Even highly performing. See, the problem in my district is I may not have a public school entity that actually can set up a highly performing charter school, but a for-profit entity might be able to move in there. So the districts that really don't have the infrastructure to set these up, they're the ones you're going to punish. Interesting. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about is student nutrition. And you're an educator. You're aware, and I'm going to ask to enter this in the record, a study entitled "A 4-Day Western-Style Dietary Intervention Causes Reduction in Hippocampal Dependent Learning and Memory and Interoceptive Sensitivity." A carefully done study out of Australia suggests that a diet high in added sugar and saturated fat actually interferes with learning and memory. Now, given the science behind this, and we'll share this with your office to review, don't you think it's about time that we actually limit the government paying for sugary beverages on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program so that we can actually help students learn better, given the science behind it?
Thank you. Thank you for that, and I look forward to receiving that. Dr. Harris, I look forward to working with you on the things that we have common ground, including helping those schools in your districts that you say are not helping students. And nutrition, I agree with you. We have to make sure our students are healthy. So I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I yield back.